Aw. It's our song.
Dude, what are you doing?
I mean, it's a good song. A good song is a good song.
Our first time ever on the Fan, and you're gonna come back with this?
I want to be real to the people, okay?
Real?
I want to be real.
This is like NSYNC used to NSUck. What are you doing?
What do you mean? You're the guy that would call me up randomly out of nowhere and just start singing, "You light up my world like nobody else."
Well, that's because I was obviously lying and making fun of you. You re-entered with One Direction, dude. I'm so close to just quitting right now.
Don't even act
I'm
like
so
you
close
don't
to
like
just
it.
quitting right now.
You love you some boy band music. You know you do.
All
If you
right.
could get away with playing this in the weight room at Redskins Park, you absolutely would. Don't even front like you wouldn't.
Well, first of all, I can play what I want in the weight room, and second of all, you're the one who walks around with a picture of the bald Britney Spears in your wallet all the time.
She was hot. I
Not
had
when
to
she was
think
bald.
for Sinead O'Connor,
Not when she was
too.
bald.
Nothing compares to Sinead
She was
O'Connor.
uglier than you are.
I am a handsome
Ugly man.
I am a
10
handsome
months.
man.
10 months.
Easy there, Shrek.
It's been a long
Easy
time,
there.
women.
This is Fourth
Just
and
letting
Pain.
you know.
Shut up, man. This is
It's been a while.
This is Fourth and Pain, the only pro wrestling show hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion. He is jerk-faced defensive end Adam Carriker.
He is midget virgin boy Chuck Carroll.
Oh, boy. Time to open up the mailbag. Your questions, our answers, and, yeah, we are just off to a rousing start.
We like to have fun. We like to have fun. We don't take ourselves seriously here.
Not at all. This is definitely not a serious show. So if you're looking for serious X's and O's talk, please to be changing the station. But let's open up the mailbag. M. Carey 032 on Twitter writes, "Hey, Adam, do you like the schedule change of practice?"
I mean, it's training camp. You're going to be there all day anyways, as it is. You know, you're there from 7 to 9 or 10. The practice is just in the afternoon, and you know, it's good to get us used to practicing in that heat. We're going to play some games at 4 p.m. in the heat of the day at 1 p.m., so I think it's good to get us used to the heat.
And same question asker here. What do you think of the addition of Raheem Morris to the staff? Now, granted, he's working in the secondary. You're more on the front seven here, but what do you think?
I mean, he was the coach of the Bucks the past couple of years, so he's got some head coaching knowledge. And I think he definitely has the respect of the players, especially his position guys. He's a very vocal guy. He's a very energetic guy. He's young, but he's still very knowledgeable. And I think he's going to have our secondary working as a unit and working and playing well together.
And, you know, the secondary was the one kind of I don't want to say suspect part of the defense last year, but it was the one part of the defense, in a lot of people's opinion, this guy's included, that could use a little bit of an upgrade. And you've gone out and you've really obtained some quality people, including Brandon Merriweather. And I really think that it's going to be much improved this year. I think just watching D'Angelo Hall over the weekend at Redskins Park, he's kind of playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's out there really kind of hitting people. He wants to make his presence known this year.
Yeah, I think part of that is Raheem Morris. I think like I said, he's working really well with those guys. He's got them working as a unit. And last year was tough. I mean, in our safeties, we just had so many injuries. I know OJ was battling a hamstring thing. Laurent had the Achilles thing. Then DJ, who was a rookie, you know, ended up starting a lot, and it's tough. You never know what you're going to get out of a rookie sometimes. DJ played well at spots, but it's just it's going to be an upgrade. I think guys are going to play a lot better this year.
Moving right along, we're going to transition into wrestling. I like where Pete and Manassas is headed. I really enjoy what he's thinking here because it's a question that you and I have already discussed. It's one that we talk about off the air. Pete from Manassas writes in, do you think Joseph Park is really Abyss?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 I'm inclined to agree, but you know what else?
What?
We have Joseph Park on the show next week.
We do, and I think he answers that question.
He may. Well, we're going to try to get him to. I don't know if he will. But
well, he's going to because we're going to ask him, and I've met him. He's a nice dude. He'll answer it.
We'll put him in the arm bar. You know,
we'll put him in the figure 4.
I like that. Woo! Next question from Sarah.
Well, hold on, real quick, not to interrupt, but when I went down to Orlando and met Joseph Park, that was the very first thing I said to him. Hey, why don't you just come out as Abyss already? And he just laughed and walked away. So he wouldn't say anything to me in person. So it might be a little harder to get him to admit it on the air or answer the question, but I think he will. But he just started laughing and just walked away.
Sarah and Chantilly writes, hey, guys, do you think Sting will do a good job in place of Hogan as the de facto GM of Impact?
I mean, I think he will. He was the GM before Hogan. Then he took his break so he could focus on wrestling and come back and get back into that. And I mean, Sting is Sting. He's one of the greats of all time. He's the icon. Absolutely, he's going to do a good job. What do you think?
I'm inclined to agree. Sting's been around in the business forever and a day. Did you know that he actually got his start as the Ultimate Warrior's tag team partner out in California?
I did not know that.
Yeah, they were a team, I believe, called the Blade Runners.
That is an interesting piece of information I did not know.
I believe, and I could be wrong here, but I believe they were both found on Ventura Beach, the weightlifting park out there.
Yeah. I think I had heard that. Now imagine if they would have stayed together. I mean, they're two of the most popular wrestlers of all time. If they'd have stayed together, they got the paint, later on in his career, Sting had the long hair. They both, I mean, wow, that would have been an amazing tag team if they stayed together.
As much as I commend the Warrior for all that he did in the business, I really think Sting was the better talent of the two, just based off of the longevity and the fact that he didn't go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs after he hung it up.
Well, I wasn't comparing careers. I would agree with you if you're going to compare. I'm just saying if they'd stayed together.
All right, moving on. John out in Sterling writes in, he's like, I know Taz. He's a big Nebraska guy. You're obviously a former Nebraska player. Taz was a good wrestler, but in my opinion, he was even better on the mic. Are you surprised he was able to make that transition?
You're talking about as an announcer and such?
Yes.
No. I mean, I'm a pretty good football player, and I'd say I'm pretty good on the mic as well. Some people just naturally got the gift, Chuck.
Well, I am not a very good football player, and evidently my wrestling career never panned out. But I am damn good on the mic, and I was able to make that transition too. So pat on the old back.
You made the transition very well.
Very, very early on in my football career or wrestling career as well. I just hung it up. We got to get Taz on the show though. We really do. We need to make that a point because he's a big Nebraska guy. I think it would be fascinating to hear you two talk about cornholing or whatever it is.
Wow. I would love to see him do about 42 suplexes to your face right now. But yeah, I mean, he's a New York guy and he's a big Nebraska fan. So that still intrigues me to this day how we got that connection. But yeah, he was Go Big Red on Twitter to me and stuff like that. So yeah, we got to get him on the show.
James in Richmond, and this kind of transitions well. James in Richmond, do you think Kazarian will hold on to the tag team belt for a while? Is this the start of the rise of his career with TNA? That's a good question.
That is a very good question, especially since he's our guest coming up next.
Plug.
But I think so. I think Kazarian's been overlooked for a little bit. He was a part of Fortune. He's now a part of the tag team champions. I think he's on the rise. I think him and Christopher Daniels will hold on to those belts for a little bit. Eventually, they'll have to lose them sometime. But I think his singles career might take off a little bit. What about yourself?
I think that he is definitely poised for greatness. I don't know who there really is to challenge them for the tag team belts at the moment. I mean, they're kind of setting the standard ever since Bully Ray and Devon went their separate ways. There hasn't really been that big tag team. And same thing with Beer Money. Who is in TNA right now that can legitimately challenge for those tag belts?
Well, then the Motor City Machine Guns, I mean, I forget his name, but the one guy, he keeps getting hurt over and over, which is
Alex Shelley?
Yeah, which is just terrible luck for him, so they can't get going. You got La Mexicana, La Familia, I don't know what they call themselves. They got the Mexican flag they drop all the time. But they come and go. You got the British guys who come and go. I mean, it's just like they're the only really stable tag team out there.
Well, we're going to hit on all of those in a brand new segment that we call 4 Corners in 2 minutes. This is your TNA Impact recap, and we're going to go through this House of Fire style because, hey, we only got 2 minutes to do it. Aces and Eights this week continue to wreak havoc on the Impact Zone. They're attacking AJ Styles. They tried to attack Kurt Angle. Everybody comes out that they've attacked in the past. We're talking about Sting. We're talking about Aries. We're talking about AJ Styles, who they jumped earlier in the day. They made the save for Kurt Angle, but the one person who they didn't attack twice that night was James Storm. And everybody's wondering, is James Storm now in cahoots with Aces and Eights? This is a very interesting thing to ponder, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing where this storyline is going. I personally would have thought Aces and Eights would have unmasked themselves by now, but no such luck. What do you think?
I like the fact that they have it. It brings out the drama. It makes it more interesting. I still say it's some outside wrestlers coming in trying to take over, like I said a couple shows ago. And I don't think James Storm is a part of it. I think he's being set up by whoever really is behind it, whether it be Bobby Roode or whoever.
Now that is a heck of an idea. is Bobby Roode behind all this? Because he lost the belt, this could be him taking out his frustrations. Interesting.
Well, I mean, they were both part of Beer Money. Both the former tag team champs can't come out and be bad guys. I think James Storms has to maintain that image.
Also on Impact this week, Sam Shaw won the TNA Gut Check Challenge. My girl Mickie James made her return, and here's where this gets interesting. She's in a tag match. Madison Rayne is one of her opponents. And, oh, by the way, Madison Rayne, I believe, is the one that laid one on our friend Earl Hebner a few weeks back.
She loves her some Earl Hebner.
Get this. Well, the referee in the match made a quick count, and Madison Rayne and her tag team partner won that match because of the referee quick count. So I believe that she's actually now in cahoots with the referee staff making her rounds.
You think so? That's an interesting take on that. We'll see what happens.
It seems to be the likely scenario. And lastly, Chavo Guerrero making his debut in the Impact Zone. Longtime WCW, WWE wrestler Chavo Guerrero, now with Impact Wrestling, does a heck of a promo. And he appears to be that he's going to be working with Hernandez as a tag team. So maybe that is somebody that could push Kazarian and Christopher Daniels for those tag belts.
I'm excited for Chavo Guerrero. I think he'll get his chance to stand out here in TNA. I think there'll be big things for Chavo.
Well, I think that what we need to do is ask Kazarian about that on the flip side. When we come back, we're going to be joined by one half of the TNA World Tag Team Champions, Kazarian. Ask him all about that, a whole lot more, and probably some football.
Yeah, sounds good. I know he's a big NFL fan. When I had a chance to meet him, that's all he wanted to chat about.
This is Fourth and Pain. He's Adam Carriker. I'm Chuck Carroll. We'll be right back with Kazarian.